On this episode of Shaking My Head, the Hurricanes forget how to defend.
Mikula baked it in off Orloff.
Leon Draisaitl is a human being, and Corey Perry puts an end to the Star season.
Well, you know it's going to be a long series.
All of that and more on this episode of Begin. Hello and welcome to SMH, the biggest misplays and bloopers show across the entire internet. I'm your host, Tom Stewart. Let's get after it. Now, there's nothing more difficult for a backup goaltender than to enter a series that your team is already losing and have a tangible impact on the game. But not for Peter Kochetkov. He does not struggle with that at all. In fact, impact may be the most apt term you could use to describe this next clip.
Back for Slavin, turn it over. And it's Rodriguez down the wing. Rodriguez around the net. Oh, he's tripped up by Kochetkov. Penalty coming up here. Kochetkov will get called for tripping as he threw the pad out on Rodriguez.
A terrible turnover by Slavin, too. A guy that you just don't think's going to make that play. How about this? You're Orloff. You go to reverse bump, but you take yourself right out of the play. That's what Florida does to you. They finish every hit, so you kind of bail on it. And this leads to an incredible chance by Verhaeghe and a wonderful save by Kochetkov. And on the clearing attempt, Jarvis takes it right in the melon. As we look at Kochetkov coming out to play him and sticking that left leg out, so there was going to be no wraparound.
Say, folks, gather around. It's time to play everyone's favorite game. Who should Taylor Hall pass to? Option 1, a simple wide-open look to Seth Jarvis up ice. Or option 2, blind pass to a completely covered Sebastian Aho. I'll give you a few seconds to pick. Okay, roll it.
Tries the bounce pass for Barkov. Stopped at the Carolina line. Hall wanted to flip that ahead for Aho. Brought in by Boqvist. Scores! Yes, sir. Boqvist with a great play to make it 2-1.
Next guy up, right? But the next guy up, Boqvist is the guy with the injury to Reinhart, and he dances through Orloff, who's kind of going the wrong way. His body doesn't look like he's set for this. The transition turnover, and look at him, he had to turn. He thought he was going to get blown by outside, and the minute he showed that fear and he turned, Boqvist cut right back in on him. Transitional play. Unfortunately, he knocked the first one into his own net, and that one there, he got toasted. Show outside speed. As soon as you show that you think you're done, man, oh man, Boqvist cut in on him, and he finds a hole.
Now, there's nothing scarier for a defenseman than trying to make a play out of position, failing to make that play, and then looking up and noticing there's 3 of your teammates around and only 2 of them. Someone's open, and it's more than likely your guy. It is your guy. You f***ed up.
Bennett into the skates of Verhaeghe. Walker will move it around as Svechnikov takes the hit from Bennett. Mikula in for the point, will back his way in and send it behind the goal. Here's Verhaeghe up front. They score! Bennett right in the crease, causing the disturbance as Verhaeghe cuts out front to tuck it in. And the Florida Panthers have a 2-0 lead.
Well, once again behind the goal line as Carolina tries to exit the zone. The D to the corner, and you're looking to go up the wall, but the winger's already blown the zone. There's the reverse. There's nobody on the wall for him to give it to. It's just there's nothing there. Everyone's gone. So, of course, they come in, pinch down, keep the puck alive. It goes to Verhaeghe. He walks right out, unattested. Walker tries to get the stick over, but you got Matthew Tkachuk on the other side, and his stick is on the ice, and he knows Verhaeghe's going to throw this thing across, and it's a simple tap-in and a 2-0 lead.
Well, growing up, I was a bad hockey player, and so my coaches yelled at me a lot. You know, bad changes, bad passes, just overall bad attitude. But I would notice that when the star players made similar mistakes, they were met with grace and understanding. No one would ever say shit to them. That really ticked me off. So my heart goes out to all the bottom 6 forwards on the Edmonton Oilers who were condemned to silence after this brutal hiccup by Leon Draisaitl.
So here we are just past the 15-minute mark. The Oilers with more shots than they had in their Game 6 victory last year. Held the 10 with a breakaway. Tyler Sabathia scores! He scored their first 2 in Game 1 last year, and Seguin has Dallas on the board.
Yeah, his first in 11 games as well, and it comes off the end of this pressure. What's the play at the line here? Just a little into the stick. Draisaitl loses control of it, and Seguin has lots of legs here. Little backhand, forehand, quick release underneath the glove. It's because of the speed coming down. You can see Stuart Skinner not quite settled, not sure if the shot or a fake's coming.
When things are going bad, like you're losing 4-1 in a game and trailing 2-0 in a series, just remember that things can always be rendered worse. All you have to do is gently toss a puck from behind your own red line in the middle of your own zone to an awaiting superstar of the opposing team.
There's Morrow trying to play it. I would suspect we probably won't see Mikkola back tonight, even if it's precautionary. Barkov got it tonight and scores! And the Panthers keep pouring it on with Barkov's second of the night.
Well, Rodriguez was one of 4 guys who has not yet scored for the Florida Panthers. 2 of them are in the lineup tonight, so it's pretty hard for them to score. But finally, Barkov finds it. I mentioned he had 7 assists in his last 4 games. I mean, the captain, what a play as they keep this one alive. And he threads the needle between Gostisbehere and Morrow, I believe. He threads it right through the 2 of them and off the stick.
There's a lot of creative players in the National Hockey League, but one of the most underrated is this Sasha Barkov, who last week unveiled his latest technique for scoring goals, using your opponent as your stick.
Stamkos in his center, cut off by Rodriguez. Left it for Barkov. Back for Rodriguez on his reach. Mikkola in front. Scores! Mikkola banked it in off Orlov.
Well, to the net with numbers, and the Florida Panthers again strike first, and that's what Carolina did not want to happen. The puck gets turned over in the neutral zone, and after that, they're coming to your net. And it's a missed pass that's going into the slot. It misses its intended target, and when it does, it goes right across. Now, Kachekov follows it all the way across, but then it comes back against the grain and off the skate of Orlov and into the back of the net. How many times in the playoffs have we seen this year a puck thrown into the middle of the ice around the crease and goes in off a defenseman or another player and into their own net? And Mikkola is on the board again. What a playoff he is having.
Now, I deeply empathize with the Dallas Stars on this next one because I too am in awe of Connor McDavid, and I'm also very easily distracted. You know that there used to be 7 lights up here? Now there's only 6. So I don't know what's going on with that. Was that a dog? What's going on? What clip? Oh, just f***ing roll it, dude. I don't know. Oh, right, the Dallas one. There is a dog.
And Bouchard now has points in 7 consecutive games against Dallas. Lifted up the line by Harley.
Robertson's stick was caught in the skate of Kulak there.
And here comes McDavid in, walking in, back, McDavid scores! Leads by 2.
While great players take advantage of chaotic situations, here's the forecheck for Dallas. They get 2 guys caught deep because look at the sticks in the skate. You got to delay and wait. Meanwhile, the top players are going back the other way. Great job of McDavid winning the battle. And 1 pass, 2 pass, up and over the shoulder. You know McDavid's thinking pass initially. Great job by Nugent Hopkins sliding in right in the wheelhouse. And a perfect shot up and over the shoulder brings this crowd to its feet again.
Now, for those of you who never played hockey, allow me to provide you with a little insight to the game. The U-turtled chirp is by far the most powerful of all the chirps. It wields such authority that its victims can feel the effects some decades later, speaking from experience. Simply put, there's no coming back from it. So you can mark this confidently as the exact moment the Dallas Stars 2024-25 season came to a close.
An overpowering third period, and at the horn, the action's going to continue as they start to set a tone for Game 2.
The final score, your Dallas Stars 6.
Stitcher and Beck. Colson involved with Labushkin.
Stars win it. Shots on goal in the third period. Edmonton with 6 for a game total of 27. And for your Dallas
Corey
Stars,
Perry and Bishop.
28.
Well, you know it's going to be a long series. In a game that turned away, Corey Perry having words and just trying to end it with a little bit of a exclamation point. You know, years ago, there would have been a lot of this. This wasn't a game that was full of that, and I think a lot of it in this third period was because it was all on special teams. Last year, a 6-game series. This year, boy, game 1. A wild swing, and I think there's a lot more to come.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm very excited to share with you this next clip because it embodies the essence of what this show is all about. A guy nearly blocks his teammate from scoring on a wide open net. Instead of a near miss, results in an assist. Ladies and gentlemen, that is what this show is all about. So sit back, relax, and enjoy what could be the greatest SMH clip of all time. 10 out of 10 shaker, folks. This is what it's all about.
Hintz wins the faceoff. Heiskanen. Back to Duchesne, back to Heiskanen, and then across, and that steered wide. Loose puck, empty net, and he scored! Three straight, and Duchesne has the go-ahead goal for Dallas.
Stuart Skinner on this play never saw where the puck was behind him. He was still dealing, thinking it was in front. It went behind him. Again, traffic in front. Rupe Hintz on the doorstep. It goes by. He's still looking around, and a second chance there by Duchesne. He hits on the first opportunity as it came off the backboard. Right there into the back of Hintz, and then the quick release. Duchesne, who's been struggling, hasn't scored in 17, gets a huge goal there. Once again, the Oilers looking at him for any kind of interference in front.
Well, just like that, we've come to the end of another incredible show. Thank you so much for joining us. Now, the winner of last week's trivia is none other than Oh Hell No, great name, who correctly answered Frederick Anderson as the goalie who sits in top 10 scoring amongst Danish-born NHLers. For this week's question, I pose you this, viewer. Who led the Edmonton Oilers in scoring on their iconic 2006 Stanley Cup run? If you think you know the answer, put it in the comments below to be potentially featured on next week's episode. Until then, I'm Top Stewart, and you keep that head shaking. No. Tell him I'm not here. I'm in a meeting or something. I'm being blocked.